Hello everyone, Russell Wright from networkempire.com. I hope this video finds you well today, and I'm going to show you some changes that happened to the Storify application. Those of you who've taken the Introduction to Premium Content Curation at networkempire.com or curationprofits.com for the introductory course. I just wanted to let you know that Storify, which is a key component of the system that I use, has advanced its editor. They've actually got a Storify story on that, of course. I call these mini press releases, but I also use the Storify application above almost all else, specifically when it comes to, you can see all of my bookmarklets up here, scoop it, and so on and so forth. I'm going to go through a few of the advanced features that have been added and tell you how I feel about it. It's almost all good. In fact, 99% of it, and anything else we can deal with. Storify is really what I use for story flipping. So I have different terminologies for these things as curation moves forward. You can also log in with your Twitter account, which I do recommend, but I'm actually having a difficult time with their new interface logging in with the Twitter account on Chrome. So I'm logged into Mozilla, and you can see I've actually uploaded the new bookmarklet as well. So when you go into the My Stories new editor, I have created a story. I was playing around on the internet. Today is my birthday, so I was relaxing a little bit, and some people watch TV and stuff at night where they're celebrating. I actually curate stuff and mess around a little bit. I'm always doing something. I found this interview about Lady Gaga, who went to the Googleplex and had an interview. It's this video here. I found that kind of weird and interesting, and I had this idea that I wanted to do a keyword research test on a celebrity tied to Google. And so I thought that'd be kind of fun, and I deserve to play a little bit too, right? So I'm going to go ahead and edit this story, and that should have actually been deleted because I wanted to have this be empty for you. But I actually pre-wrote this story before we got into our little interview here. So I put on a text pad. I did really a quick thing. After I watched her video, I conceived of a way that I could put an added value on the story, or at least my own opinion. I like the intro, the Lady Gaga intro, because I don't care much for Lady Gaga and that kind of music stuff, but I love this intro because this is a kind of animated intro that almost every business should have. It's like, in other words, look, I kind of kick ass on the internet. And it's just a really done video that Google did for her in preparation for her arrival. So they hired a whiz-bang video thing. I thought it would be fun to test it, and I know it will draw kind of a different age group of traffic to the site. So I wrote this little story about that. Here is the story is essentially the Lady Introduction Google Analytics Power intro video revealing Lady Gaga's search trends and spike is something worth seeing. Okay, so that's going to be my preamble, and the preamble goes right here. Now you can see there's a huge shift where we used to write the stories on the right, we now write on the left. And they did that because I think they wanted to give us more space to write, and I actually do appreciate that. Go ahead and save now. That gives us more room. You still can't link inside the preamble, which is a lot of power to be able to do that. It's not going to let us do that though. They haven't changed that. But you can link when you create stuff down here. So he'll let us link down here, and that's still very powerful. But for the purposes of this demonstration, I know that I've taught you all very well not to only tweet thyself, and even in your stories, try to have only your own stuff in your web ring number 1, that's your primary branded sites. In this case, I'm actually not going to swipe the Gaga video and put it on the theme zoom server, because I'm not that interested enough in this story as a core competency for us to actually take the time to swipe the video and put it on my own server. It would have more power if I did that, for a variety of reasons, but it is owned by Google, and out of respect for the Google Talks, I'm just going to go ahead and link to them. So all you have to do, they've added a couple features. The Facebook feature is here, and I'll give you more information on it as soon as I understand more what's going on. I'm not quite sure how Storify is pulling the feed since Facebook has closed social. So I've done a few searches and a few queries. I'm going to talk to them and find out more about what this Facebook feature means. It's supposed to work in tandem with their new bookmarklet. Where is that? Here. But I'm not finding that it's working properly in my browser, so I'll do a little interaction with them. Facebook seems to be blocking this bookmarklet still, so I'm not really sure what that's about. But if you go here, this is the new Storify story pad. This is an added feature. anything that you run through your bookmarklet now gets stored on the store pad. And because I was having problems with the JavaScript, I have 3 things that are sitting here. And so I don't really fully understand how this works. You can just drag and drop. Remember, this is a technology called Embedly. And you can actually install this Embedly technology right in your blog if you'd rather use it directly. And I've already taught you guys how to do that in a course. Okay, so it's kind of business as usual. One of the things I don't like as a feature is I should be able to delete any of these stories. I haven't figured out how to do that. Can't imagine they don't have a function to delete redundant stories on accident. But that's a minor. That's the only fault I found of this whole thing is I can't figure out how to delete stories once they're in the story pad. I'm sure it's just me. So you have your user stories. Okay, these are all my storifys from the past, which is nice. That means I can pull on previous stories of my own right here in Storify, which is just wonderful. It's got the same old YouTube functionality with my own videos as my user videos come in. It just pulls from my own stuff. I can also do a search for Google Goes Gaga. Okay, and do a search in it so that way I don't have to use my own video. And just search down for the video that I actually watched, and generally speaking you'll see it, and it's right here. Yeah, somebody actually pulled it in. I'd actually rather take it from the Google Talks because I can see that's not Google. So let me go ahead and just do that here real quick. And I'm pretty sure if I just put in the @Google Talks, that'll just pull up the Lady Gaga video, I'm quite sure. Okay guys, so I've contacted Storify because I'm not the only one who has noticed a couple of bugs in the application, and that's because it's brand new and they've rolled out. We're software developers as well, so I'm actually a contributing member to the software because it's really important from a business. So I've just let them know what I'm experiencing, and it's not a big deal, and so on and so forth. I'm having some challenges in Chrome, and because the videos, normally the user's videos will show up here, and the user's favorites will show up here. So they're having some JavaScript issues with Chrome. And so what you just do with that is you just move it over into another browser. And it's working most of the time here. So I'll just pull up the same stuff in Mozilla. And that's the Storify. I tried using the Storify bookmarklet. So I'll just go ahead and try editing this in the Storify software. Just go into the theme zoom area, and it'll probably make me log in again. Just change browsers whenever an application is doing a new rollout. And one thing I just wanted to mention in passing, it might get deleted on Facebook, but it might not. I put a link not to the course, but after I offered a lot of helpful hints, I put a link to a Gliffy, which is a much more acceptable thing on the social media networks. It also happens to have a link to the course on it. But at first, what I told them is that I'm just trying to share with you a little bit how social media works and how things get spread pretty quickly. I gave them 2 really helpful hints. I used my curation software, which is in this case Jing, to make a couple screen captures of what's wrong with the software. I mean, what's the minor bug that they're probably working on right now, which will probably be fixed by tomorrow. And then the Gliffy diagram saying, hey guys, anything I can do, you're a key component of my system. So even though things are working pretty nice, that was a nice little trick. By the time somebody over there, they have 6,000 members. By the time somebody gets to this thing, I will probably have gotten, dozens, if not potentially hundreds of clicks from this wall because I put helpful information, I'm a fan, and I've got a diagram. So those are little tips about how to, just sneak in there but really do it right. I mean, you're just interacting and you're adding value to the application. So now that we're in Mozilla, let's go see if they work a little bit better on this new release. Just click on this and you can see that the new system is loading a little bit better in Mozilla. And just go right here and edit the story. This is what we've got so far. They still kept all the nice stuff in there. Let's go to YouTube and see if they got the users videos rolling in here a little bit better this time. No. Okay, so they've got a bug problem with the users video and the users video here. So I've let them know on the Facebook wall, and it should be fixed hopefully by tomorrow. And I don't know, I'll probably call them up and speak with them because they know that I'm doing a course and everything. So all I got to do at this point is I'll just do a workaround, and hopefully that'll work. And I'll just do the direct YouTube video link to the video. And although it's not as snazzy as going right through the YouTube channel, Once they fix that, we'll start using that again once they rolled out that release. Just go ahead and create a link and embed link, and then you can take the video directly like that. So even though it doesn't show the, oh yeah, it stuck a nice big YouTube thing in there. So all those, there's almost always a workaround, guys, in this new curation thing. That's what I love about it, is there's no real reason to stop, working at stuff, And let's go ahead and remember how I told you that they've kept a link in, so when you add new stuff, you can actually create a hyperlink right here. Storify is a pretty powerful platform as far as ranking. And it got a little bit annoying in the beginning because Storify was outranking some of my blogs like within 24 hours, and then I had to find some ways to tweak that. One of the ways to do that is to give power to your own blog within this matrix. Okay, so what I'm going to do is you just take that video, and let's go back to the story here. I got a little sidetracked. Okay, here's the story. So I look at the headline, or the preamble is what I call it, for this little mini press release, and I'm going to do the larger, I'm going to take the larger aspect of the story that I wrote, just a little blah blah blah. Lady Gaga this, Lady Gaga that, but it's used, it's not like just made up stuff. Go ahead and put this here. Okay, then we're going to take the dragger, we're going to drag it up above the video. Okay, and just go ahead and create a space. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this. I'm going to go back over to my blog and publish this. Okay, when I'm ready to publish it. But I'm going to put a link to my blog for the keyword that I'm targeting. And I'm testing, I told you I was testing the celebrity. So it's going to be Lady Gaga's Google Analytics is what I'm going for, or Lady Gaga Google or something. Google Analytics. And it's not a money term or anything like that. It's just a test term I'm throwing out there. Okay, so I'll hyperlink this. And I'll probably change it to Google Lady Gaga, blah, blah, blah. Okay, the analytics power introduction, and I'm going to say the Lady Gaga analytics power. So it will be the Lady Gaga Google Analytics. There, that goes for my keywords, right? And then I'll just go ahead and put the link in there. We'll do a test link right now to show you what I'm up to. That's going to go right to the blog article. Once that blog article is up, okay. Wow. This editor is having a hard time. Okay, I know what's happening. It's because I'm on, let's go ahead. So when you just link on the URL, you can put, there it is. See, it's covered. It's because I'm capturing you on Screencast. So what I would do is I'll actually go to the exact blog post. Okay, and just click save. Now that's hyperlinked. Okay, we'll save that story. And it looks like the link went in there okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and double check that. Yeah, it's already hyperlinked. So when we publish that story, it'll be done. And so this is new, part of the editor. So the next step will then be to publish the story to your own personal blog. So this is actually, go ahead and publish it. And again, I'm just giving you guys a little sample of the new editor. And there you have it. And then you've got the same functions for publishing. Okay, we're going to go ahead and post. Now it's giving us all the same options. Okay, so I wouldn't post to any of my social networks until I had some links to my own stuff in this article. I've got the link to the blog. That's pretty good, but I probably want to have a couple other things like my own blog post in this story as the key component of the premium content, curation system that I teach. And then of course a really nice function when you know how to use it, it is a script that runs, but the embed code, that's what you can put on your blog. If you really don't care anything about ranking for a blog article, and you just want to run the script, you can. Okay, so you could run the YouTube script or the script inside that. So that's still there. And that embed code goes right in your blog. And then it'll, hopefully when the Storify server, they have redundancy and stuff that they're working on, because they got hammered so hard with all the traffic using their stuff that sometimes they couldn't keep up. And that means if you embed their stuff on your blog and their server is down or having a difficult time, your stories won't be active on your blog. So it's a really good, a really solid decision you need to make on the importance of a story as to whether or not you're willing, when Storify is down, to be down for your story in your blog. So you really need to be careful which stories you're putting where, and to think clearly through that. I personally like to publish the text on my blog and use the same software they're using to do these components, which is Embedly. That's the technology they're using on my blog. And I don't mind putting a link to the Storify article on my blog in the context of a keyword, Lady Gaga's Ultimate Google Analytics. I can point to my own story, and that's not a problem. So it's just a question of the context that you're using things in. And then you use this to Twitter it out and everything else. So that's the new Storify, and you can still post it to Posterous and all those things. And it gives you a little bit of idea of how things are working.